This is part 2 of doing a Costco run with an electric long-tail cargo bike. Katie Lardner is going to do the shopping, and I'm going to do the filming. So in video part 1, we covered a lot about infrastructure and how she gets from Wortley Village to Costco here in London, Ontario. In this video, we're going to get some tips from Katie about how to know how much is too much when you're biking to Costco to get groceries for a family of 4. We're going to get $300 of groceries, and we're going to head out to the bike rack, pack her Tern GSD electric cargo bike with belt drive and CVT, and have a bunch of interesting adventures on our ride back home. All while Katie and I narrate, provide tips, and chat about what's going on. So let's get shopping. So, how do you determine how much is too much?
It's really hard to figure out how much is too much. And, you know, if worse came to worse, I could just go back and return something. You know, it's not that big of a deal. Also, the panniers on the bike hold a lot. I think there's 73 liters. I can't remember, but I've got the 2 panniers and then the top bin, and I've got a bag that I'm going to put on the front. So honestly, it's just kind of intuition at this point, and we'll see when we get outside. But the cart is getting full. And the bike's still there. It's always a good moment. And so is yours. Okay. If I do that, then you can see. I think we're going to load the panniers first. These things are huge. We'll get some of the boxes in there. So, no one's going to judge me on the type of cereal I buy for my kids, okay? This is for a camping trip. Bread probably should go there. We've got eggs today, so we're gonna figure out a safe spot for the eggs. And honestly, I think that might be a good one. Uh-oh.
That's the lock beeping?
That was silly. One moment. I don't do that often, really. I swear.
That's my fault.
Luckily, it gives me a warning.
Yes.
I believe it's an ABUS chain lock with an alarm from the London Bicycle Cafe.
There we go.
How wacky does it go if you do not get to it on time?
You know what? I haven't done that yet. No, maybe once. But I think it was just a test to see how loud it was. I don't want to do it again. So, we're going to try and put some refrigerated stuff in the bag, so it doesn't completely melt on the way home. That's another issue, right? Refrigeration. So, I wouldn't get ice cream bars today, you know, but I did get some chicken. So keep that in the cold bin with some frozen pineapples and some butter and milk. This is a heavy one. So I believe this bike can hold over 400 pounds, rider plus cargo. So let's see. That might go on the front. Let's see.
Is that one of the insulated bags?
That's an insulated bag. So it should keep it cool all the way home. The bike ride home should be 25 minutes. And driving here takes 15. So it's not that big of a difference for me. And I don't have to deal with this terrible parking lot. So I prefer that some days when it's beautiful outside. And I haven't visited the gas station here in 2 years because we also have an electric car. So it's pretty sweet not having to go to the gas station. But the bike is extra awesome. So I'm almost done here, and I don't think I've barely filled a pannier.
I'm gonna get rid of my pannier because it's kind of ruining the shot. That's not hers. And even though I only have a little bit of room in my bags, I still did some shopping too.
Okay, this is where I have to decide what I'm doing. And I think, given the weight of this, I'm gonna switch some of this stuff into these. Just want to distribute the weight properly so I'm not like falling off one side here. So we're gonna put the cereal boxes up there, and I'm not even using bags really. I'm just gonna put it all in the panniers. And these panniers are awesome because they go up so high, so I can really fill them.
That's bonkers.
Like this one's only half full, but a giant thing of croissants is gonna fill it. Well, not quite. Eggs I think will be nice and comfy there. This is just like a trunk organizer that I've put in the top. So, super flexible. I mean, this weighs less than one of my kids, so it's not going anywhere. It can't slide out the bottom. I could strap it here just for safety, but honestly, I'm not worried about it. Okay. Oh, and chips. Chips will go right here. Precious cargo for my husband. I swear.
You're like, mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And battery. And we'll do up these panniers. We actually debated whether we were gonna get these, and then Andrew at the bike cafe was like, just get them. And we never regret it. Never ever regret getting these giant things. Like I said, we load so much stuff in these for soccer, for groceries. They're easily adjustable. Okay. So I feel like it does take a little more time to load this up than a trunk, but not that much, honestly. And these handy, like that's not going anywhere. Whoop, the cart light.
Okay, we have packed the bike.
Okay. Costco parking lot's not a fun place either to ride a bike. Oh, and we need battery assist. There we go.
And just like that, we are on our way back to Katie's home.
That is full.
We're full. You feel can you see my tires a little?
I'm surprised it's not more saggy.
Yeah? Okay. Well, Tom just filled it up, so it's good and full. I find this different route home is actually a little quicker, a little more efficient, but it doesn't go on the nice pathway. But man, it's a beautiful day to do this. It's gorgeous.
If you are ever planning on doing this yourself and you don't have a cargo bike that's meant for this amount of weight, I don't advise doing this big of a haul.
And my squeaky brake.
But trailers exist.
Now stopping this thing and starting it again.
Yeah, that's always the worst. Nice
But
Idaho stop. A full stop.
yeah.
A good set of hydraulic disc brakes helps a lot.
We purchased the GSD that has the belt drive, so
And a CVT.
changing gears is incredibly easy on this. There's no like gear shifting. It's just a smooth shift. So it's actually, I can change gears while I'm stopped, which is really useful with a heavy load.
Yes.
So
No, really. Being able to change gears when stopped is a game changer.
I do love that about this bike. Our other e-bike is a chain. So I do have to pedal while I'm shifting. And it's a little bit of a transition from this bike to get used to that. But it's not nearly as big of a bike.
You might think of it as getting one really capable bike, and then the other one is good enough to keep up.
Good. Oh, so There we go. Turbo mode plus leg strength.
For people who don't think that it's a workout to have an e-bike, even with a pretty powerful motor with a high Newton meter rating, it's still a workout.
Sometimes I really love to watch the drivers in the cars smiling as I ride by. It's entertaining. Fills me with delight, honestly, that I can make them smile today.
And yes, we may be temporarily holding up traffic, but luckily we're on a side road. They can just pass when safe, like this.
So I can feel this low's pretty heavy. It's given me lots of fun up the hill in turbo mode. Burning legs.
Now, if this load is so heavy, it's not the end of the world if it's temporarily at its limit. Theoretically, yes, cars and trucks can haul thousands of pounds, but I mean, that's not most of the time.
But I don't mind riding on this street. This is a quieter residential street. There's still buses on this street, but there is no painted lines, but I do feel safe riding on this one. It's just a lot less busy, slower speed, and there's just too many pedestrians on the sidewalk here for me to feel comfortable doing that.
And that is a benefit of side streets. You can kind of just take a chill pill.
But we're gonna be getting onto Riverside Drive soon, and that's a lot busier, especially at this time of day. So we're gonna make sure we are nice and safe, and we make sure people can see us. I don't know how they couldn't. Okay.
I'm assuming we're going right.
We're going right.
Okay.
Sorry.
It worked out.
Yeah. So yeah, there's like a gate there to go into the cemetery. And one time I did bike through the cemetery, but I didn't know if it was really kosher to do that. So it kind of avoids the Sharrow situation that's coming up on Riverside. But again, is it respectful to bike through a cemetery? That's a question for you. I don't know. I think Google Maps shows it as an actual bike path. So maybe it is.
I think it's
I mean, the roads are kind of paved in there. Oh, look, actually, they're freshly asphalted. So
just for you.
I'm gonna do that next time. They were pretty bumpy when I went in last week.
Seems pretty busy. There are 3 cyclists so far. 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. If people are commuting, this is the time of day we're gonna see them. So it's about 6 o'clock.
Ah, Riverside.
Riverside Drive. Is that what I said? Oh, here we go.
As we move on to Riverside, you will notice that they are sharrows. It is very important to note, this is legally how you're supposed to take the lane.
Oh, we're gonna do Sharrows with 3 bikes. So this is the Sharrows on Riverside. And I'm not sure who decided this was a good idea, but it's supposed to be single file for bikes and vehicles. And so sometimes I'll ride right in the middle of the lane like this, just so people can't pass me. But sometimes I'll ride on the side and then people are always passing, even though they're not supposed to. And one time I was in a vehicle and I decided to do the right thing, stay behind the cyclists, even though they were on the side. And somebody behind me honked, like, go around them. And I was just like, there's no winning. There's no winning with Sharrows. Even if you're doing the right thing in a car. Sharrows are not a great bike infrastructure solution, honestly. And now we're flying down the hill. We're at 40 kilometers an hour. So my battery assist is not working, obviously. It cuts out at about 30 kilometers. So I can't actually go faster than that on my own with the pedaling. But now we have a bike lane. And from about here, so that's the worst stretch, is the Sharrows on Riverside there. And then the rest of the way is bike lane, bike path, dedicated bike path, and then just my neighborhood roads. So this I don't mind, and it's mostly downhill, which is also great when you have, I don't know how many pounds of groceries I have on here, but it's great that it's downhill instead of uphill.
Where are we going?
Oh, we're going straight back to my house so I can get this raw chicken in the fridge. I live in a pretty central area of London, just south of downtown. And so it's really accessible for us to get on the bike paths. And we love living in our neighborhood because of that. And now that we have our bikes, it's amazing to use these, some of these awesome infrastructure and cycling lanes that the city has built. We're getting there. I feel like we're getting there with London cycling, but a lot of more work needs to be done on making it safer. So.
And it's about the connections, correct?
Correct. Connecting to neighborhoods, connecting to different parts of the city. I actually biked all the way up to my son's basketball tournament in April. I had to be there right at rush hour, and it was clear across the city in the northeast end. And I had someone take my son because I couldn't get there right on time. So someone carpooled with my son, and I left on the bike shortly after they left. And I got there in less time than it took them to drive. So it took them 45 minutes in rush hour, and it took me 35 minutes on the bike. So it's quite amazing when you start thinking about it.
And we're going right?
Yeah. How the biking sometimes just really improves your life, honestly. You know, I would have been an angry, rage-filled car driver if I was stuck in the traffic getting to my son's basketball tournament. Instead, I was like super happy, just like riding my bike and moving my body, getting my heart rate up. It was fun. And that's what I love about this bike. It's fun. It is so fun. Especially when you ride with other people and you connect with nature and you smile at all the other bicycles. Like, usually we're not smiling at all the other cars on the road, right? But when everybody's so much happier on a bike. So if you can bike somewhere, try it out. Because honestly, we've started thinking about biking anywhere that's within 5 kilometers of the house and reducing even that car trip. Because why not? If we can, you have to sometimes plan ahead and like make sure you have the time if it's going to take a little longer. But it has been so much better for my mental health and my physical health. And my kids get so car sick, so they love it more because they can ride on the back and not feel car sick. So it's incredible. Even if my kids want to use their bikes and they get tired, we have a way of hooking up their bikes to the back of ours, and we can bag and drag their bikes. And, you know, that's also a solution, you know, when they get tired of riding their bike. So this bike is so multifunctional. really incredible.
Sponsored by London Bike Cafe.
As we ride by the London Bike Cafe. Thank you, Andrew Honeyford.
But actually not sponsored by them. Although, hey, if you guys are listening, I won't say no.
I also have to think about how wide I am. Because sometimes I would not have been able to go through those pylons if I was too wide. But now I have to hop the curve.
This will be slightly difficult.
It's a good thing I've been lifting weights. Actually, this bike, one of the reasons we got a second e-bike is because this bike is quite heavy, and where we store it, it requires lifting it. So it's easier for me to lift my smaller e-bike, but it doesn't hold as much. It doesn't hold $300 worth of Costco groceries.
But they are good for different types of trips. Maybe not as heavy of a haul, but more frequent, smaller trips, etc. There's a different type of bike for everything.
All right. Should we play a guessing game of how much you think the groceries are worth that I fit in the bike?
As in, we know it's the 300 and whatchamacallit, yes?
Yes. We fit $300 worth of groceries.
Right, earlier, you guessed.
I guess. How much can I fit? How many dollars worth of groceries can I fit in here? I said, I usually can't leave Costco without spending $300. And I spent 312 cents. Yes, I'm good. And that was just on basic groceries. I did not buy like clothes or shoes or batteries. I just bought groceries. So yeah, it's tough. Grocery prices are high. Biking doesn't require a gym membership, so you can save money on that. Yeah. And get your groceries at the same time.
Seriously, if you've heard us being out of breath throughout this trip, you'll realize that you actually do raise your heart rate.
I have mentioned the gym thing to people before. They're like, you don't understand.
Oh, didn't you do a video on Gym Bros? Yeah.
That was funny because I think the week of videos came from one grocery run because I just let my GoPro run, and then I had just had things to say every single second. Yeah. And I was like, well, what about this? What
Except
about that?
If you go to the gym way down on Wonderland and the 401.
Yeah.
That would be a really bad bike ride.
That would be
gyms are usually not located in really accessible places. So there's actually a Costco in South London, but I would never bike there. So I'm fortunate enough to make these decisions based on where I live, how I can get there safely, and the fun factor. Will it be fun?
So there we go. That's the ride along. In an effort not to dox Katie and Tom, I don't have all that much footage of them unloading the bike, although you can see that it is as if you were unloading the trunk of a car. It's not rocket science or anything super complicated or unique. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the entirety of this ride along and our commentary throughout. Again, if you've watched this far, thank you so much, and I would classify you as a super fan. So with that in mind, if you want to know how to support these video productions even more than you have done by watching this far into the video, head on over to the description to see how you can support more of these. Obviously, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below if you have any questions or if you want to share your own experience of grocery shopping on bikes. Otherwise, see you in the next video. Bye.